Welcome to Dub Nation, your home for all things Golden State Warriors. Highlights, hot takes, and pure Dubs energy. Join the squad. This is where champions live.
$50 million player to a team that already has Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler making tons of money and still have depth. They need a center. That's what they need, and to stay healthy. But to start ripping up a roster to add a $50 million player for star chasing, that doesn't make sense for the Warriors.
I think Golden State is interesting here. Certainly there's a 2-year window with Curry, Butler, and Draymond on their contract for the next 2 years. They have the draft picks. We're talking about teams that don't have the draft picks. Golden State has 4 tradable firsts. They can swap first in the next 7 years. Here's where the problem is. 85% of their salary is comprised of Green, Curry, and Butler. Where do you have the contracts to go out and make a trade if it's available? Certainly, Jonathan Kuminga is going to be the wild card in all this, a restricted free agent. Do you resign him, to use him in a potential signing trade? Kuminga basically will dictate as far as where Golden State goes this offseason.
Jay Will, is there a path? Is there a path for Steph Curry, one of the most beloved players in NBA history, to make his way back to the biggest stage one more time?
Hey, look, I think if you're Golden State, if you're Mike Dunleavy here, you go big fish hunting. I mean, Giannis is that perfect fit there in the Bay Area. I know the West is absolutely loaded, but just think about the fit that Steph Curry would be able to have with Giannis and how compatible those two will be together. They have draft collateral. Obviously, you need to make moves and get under, but they've shown multiple times they don't care about going into the second apron or the salary cap. I mean, that's what Joe Lacob does. And if there's a one way you can send off Steph Curry off into the sunset on the horse, that's with Giannis.
Oh my God!
Why are you making that face?
Because that's the KD thing all over again. If you do something like that,
Meaning they'd just be so good.
oh my God! I mean, but Bobby, is there really an avenue? I know there's 4 first-round picks, but how much can you possibly spend in tax and everything else to get a guy like a guy like that on that roster? How can you possibly make that happen?
I would say how it'll happen is that you're likely trading Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green in the trade.
Yeah,
that's how it's happened. You can't. There's not a scenario where you could fit Giannis and then also keep the other 3 players there.
Well, Bobby, I would say this. Thank you for your service, Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler. Thank you for being a part of the team. Bye-bye.
That would be a fascinating decision for them to make on those players. I mean, Jimmy Butler's been there for, 20 minutes, but I mean, Draymond Green has been there forever and obviously a huge part of it and the way they have conducted themselves. I get it. I mean, if you're going to get Giannis, obviously you consider absolutely everything, but that would be a fascinating one. All these things are going to happen soon, by the way, because the NBA draft is the end of this month. If Giannis is going to get traded, it is overwhelmingly likely to happen in the next few weeks. In the meantime,
hold on to your seats, NBA fans, because the league is trembling under the weight of a rumor so massive, it could rewrite the history of basketball. Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak, a 2-time MVP and a $50 million force of nature, is at the heart of a trade speculation that's sending shockwaves through the NBA. Could this unstoppable superstar, who averaged a jaw-dropping 4 points, 11, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists in the 2024-25 season, actually join Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors? This isn't just gossip, it's a potential cataclysm that could redefine the NBA's power structure. The Milwaukee Bucks, after a humiliating 3rd straight first-round playoff exit in 2025 against Tyrese Halliburton's Indiana Pacers, are on the brink of collapse. ESPN's Shams Charania dropped a bombshell, reporting that Giannis is exploring all options this offseason, open to leaving Milwaukee for the first time in his 12-year career. But here's the gut punch. ESPN's Brian Windhorst, with the confidence of a prophet, declared on Get Up that there's not going to be a Giannis trade in the short-term future. He insists the Bucks will keep their star, shattering the hopes of Warriors fans everywhere. Yet, the rumors refuse to die. Why? Because the Warriors are on a relentless hunt for another championship, and Giannis could be their ultimate weapon. But is Windhorst's prediction a fact, or just a distraction from the Warriors' master plan? Let's dive into the financial chaos and star power driving this insane trade talk. The Golden State Warriors are no strangers to chasing impossible dreams. With Steph Curry, a once-in-a-generation shooter, and Jimmy Butler, the gritty veteran acquired in a blockbuster trade in February 2025, they're already a force to be reckoned with. But here's the brutal reality. Their roster is a financial house of cards. A staggering 85% of their salary, roughly $150 million, is tied up in just 3 players: Curry, Butler, and Draymond Green. Now, they're eyeing Giannis, a $54, 1 mile LLI-owned superstar, to join this already bloated payroll. Are the Warriors delusional, or is this the boldest gamble in NBA history? Golden State has serious assets to play with: 4 tradable first-round picks, including ones in 2029 and 2031, plus the ability to swap firsts for the next 7 years. That's enough draft capital to tempt any team. But the real game-changer is Jonathan Kuminga, the 22-year-old restricted free agent who's a walking highlight reel with all-star potential. A sign and trade involving Kuminga could be the key to making this deal work. But here's where it gets ugly. To fit Giannis's massive contract, the Warriors would have to gut their core. We're talking about trading away Jimmy Butler, a proven playoff warrior. Or brace yourselves, Draymond Green, the 4-time champion, who's the heartbeat of this dynasty. This isn't just a trade, it's a betrayal of everything the Warriors have built. GM Mike Dunleavy is dancing on a razor's edge, and the stakes couldn't be higher. One wrong move, and this dynasty could crumble into dust. Sacrificing Draymond or Butler for Giannis would send shockwaves through the Bay Area. But what does the NBA world think of this potential super team? Let's unpack the firestorm of controversy surrounding this move. The NBA is a battleground of opinions, and the Giannis to Warriors rumor has ignited a war of words. ESPN's Jay Williams is pounding the table, calling Giannis the perfect fit for Steph Curry. Imagine it. He thunders. Curry raining threes from deep, Giannis bulldozing through the paint. This duo could be unstoppable, the most devastating in NBA history. Williams argues that Giannis's versatility would elevate the Warriors to a level the league has never seen, giving Curry one last shot at a 5th ring. But not everyone's buying the hype. Critics are screaming that this is Kevin Durant 2.0, a desperate star-chasing move that sacrifices depth for glamour. One analyst called it a disgraceful slap in the face to Draymond Green, who's bled blue and gold for over a decade, anchoring the Warriors' 4 championships. Others point to the financial insanity. Adding Giannis could push the Warriors' luxury tax bill beyond $200 million, a number that even owner Joe Lacob, who's no stranger to big spending, might balk at. On X, fans are ripping each other apart. Some hail it as a dream team, while others warn it's a greedy disaster that'll collapse under its own weight. This debate isn't just hot, it's a full-blown inferno. The Warriors are playing with fire, and the NBA is watching, waiting for the explosion. The arguments are raging, but what would a Warriors team with Giannis actually mean for the league? Let's break down the blockbuster trade proposal that's got everyone on edge. Now, let's talk about the trade that could turn the NBA upside down. ESPN's Zach Crom proposed a jaw-dropping 4-team deal that would land Giannis Antetokounmpo in Golden State, but at a cost that would leave Warriors fans weeping. The framework. The Warriors send Draymond Green to the Los Angeles Lakers, Jonathan Kuminga in a sign-and-trade, Brandon Podziemski, Trace Jackson-Davis, and 2 first-round picks, 2029 and 2031, to Milwaukee. The Bucks also get Austin Reeves from the Lakers, Maxi Kleber from the Dallas Mavericks, and a 2030 pick swap. For Golden State, this creates a super team of Curry, Butler, and Giannis, a trio that could steamroll the Western Conference. But the price is heartbreaking. Losing Draymond, the soul of the franchise, and Kuminga, a young star with limitless potential. Milwaukee, meanwhile, gets a haul of young talent and draft picks to rebuild for a post-Giannis era. This isn't just a trade, it's a seismic shift that could either cement the Warriors' legacy as the greatest dynasty in NBA history or send them crashing into irrelevance. The NBA's future hangs in the balance, and the clock is ticking. This trade could change everything, but is it a gamble worth taking? Let's wrap this up with the final verdict on Giannis's future and the Warriors' destiny. The NBA draft is just weeks away, set for the end of June 2025, and the Giannis trade rumors are reaching a boiling point. Will the Warriors pull off the impossible, sacrificing their heart and soul for one last shot at glory with Steph Curry? Or will Giannis, as Brian Windhorst predicts, stay loyal to Milwaukee, leaving Warriors fans to mourn what could have been? At a recent event in Brazil, Giannis himself said, "The finals are different. I hope to be back with the Bucks." But his open-minded stance keeps the speculation alive. This isn't just about basketball, it's about legacy, loyalty, and the ruthless pursuit of immortality. The Warriors stand at a crossroads, with the weight of a dynasty on their shoulders. If they land Giannis, they could forge a super team that dominates the NBA for years. But if they fail, they risk alienating their loyal fan base and dismantling a roster that's already championship caliber. One thing is certain, the NBA will never be the same. Stay locked in, because this saga is far from over, and the truth is coming. This is Dub Nation, where Warriors never back down. Hit that like, drop a comment, and stay locked in for the next big play. Till next time, Dubs out.